So we've had 2 weeks of significant new releases and pre-orders. So everything scrolling across the screen right now is live in store today. If you've placed pre-orders, you'll get your delivery today. So it's the Soulblight Gravelords, and there's been a lot of new stuff. Obviously, this is gearing up for the next edition of Age of Sigmar. This is probably the last major update for any armies or anything like that before that happens. But there was about sort of 10 or 12 significant releases for this army. Now, that was enough, and we didn't get much respite because this week's pre-orders have gone live. And again, there's a massive amount of new content. So if you now look at everything that's going across the screen, these are all of this week's pre-orders. There's 25 of them in total. It's crazy. A hell of a lot of new stuff. Now we get a massive amount of new things for Soulblight Gravelords again, including, for those of you who like Curse City, some expanded content, at least in terms of lore, for that sort of thing. But we also get a lot of new stuff in terms of there's a new warband out for Underworld's Diachasm. There's loads of new 40k stuff out. Well, not particularly new, repackaged perhaps, and that kind of thing. But we've got 3 new combat patrol boxes for the Necron Space Marines and AdMech. We've got a new AdMech model. We've got the models that came in the Pariah Nexus Kill Team box that are being released on their own now. We've got the Lilith Hesperax that came from the Drukhari that was in a big box previously, is now available on its own. There is a lot of new stuff. 25 new products, that's crazy. Now, all of this activity and new products and that kind of thing made me massively fall off of the radar for some stuff that's coming up very soon. Now, I don't know what you guys are like, but for me, I think about this stuff all the time. My brain is consumed by thinking about little plastic men 24/7. I'm always thinking about it. And when new stuff's coming up, I'm always thinking about my budgets, what I can afford. And for that reason, a few things that are happening right now and a few things that were announced yesterday slip right under my radar. And we'll get onto those now. Just quickly, for those of you who are looking to get in on these models, we didn't have the pricing when I did the price leak on Monday's video because it's a GW exclusive, and those price leaks comes from pricing that comes from retail outlets and retailers and that kind of thing. So we didn't have the pricing, but these prices right now, Raducar is £23.50 and Raducar's Court, I can't remember exactly, but it is just a hair under 80 quid. So if you've been looking forward to those and you wanted the pricing for that, you can get it on Games Workshop now, but Raducar's Court is very expensive for what it is, it appears. These models here, if you go into your Games Workshop today and for the next week up until the 30th, these exclusive models will be available while stocks last. So we'll start with the Necron, and that is Camotef the Crooked. He is an alternative model for a Necron Cryptek. And then on the right we have Silas Beastbane, and he is an alternative model for a Knight Questor. Now, I'm actually really surprised by these models because I generally like Necrons, but I'm not too excited about this model. And I generally don't have much time for Stormcast Eternals, but I love Silas Beastbane's model. I think it's really, really cool. And it is, of course, just because of that massive axe and for that Minotaur's head on there. Now, don't forget there are other things, exclusive things, that are also available. And so you've got things like these dice trays, dice bags, another bag for carrying your miniatures. There's a book, Serpents of Artemis. So there's a lot of the various things that you can get today, and again, available up until the 30th. So normally, on a store anniversary, you would have to go on the anniversary of your store. They're doing it differently this year, so it is just this 9-day event that is going to have these products available for. Now, yesterday there was reasons to rejoice, and that is because there's going to be some Warhammer tournaments coming back soon. So in America it's been announced that there will be 3 separate tournaments this year. So we've got Orlando, which is going to be on the 14th, 15th of August. We have got New Orleans, which is on the 2nd and 3rd of October. And finally we have got Austin, Texas, which is the 20th and 21st of November. So in these tournaments there's going to be 2 separate, one for 40k and one for Age of Sigmar. There's 256 player events for 40k and 128 players for Age of Sigmar. It will be very interesting to see what rule sets he'll be using for Age of Sigmar, because we have the new edition which is due out soon, but nobody knows quite then. We know that we do have a timer running down which is going to have some new reveals. I think that's going to be for a new faction, not for the new edition itself, but you know, we don't know exactly what it's going to be, so it'll be interesting when we get round to these. I reckon, especially by the November date, I reckon that new edition will be firmly in place. Now, at these tournaments, there is going to be Forge World stuff available, and there's also 2 new exclusive models, exclusive to these tournaments. And I'm assuming they'll be exclusive to other tournaments around the world as and when we have them. But we have got 2 really, really cool ones. So the first one on the left, we have Holger Clovenhorn. She's an aspiring champion of chaos. And then on the right we have a Necron Lord, Hasmotef the Resplendent, and he does look very resplendent indeed. Now, I'm very interested in getting these models. I have both in 40k a Necron army, and in Age of Sigmar I have a fairly large Slaves to Darkness army. But we'll start by looking at Hasmotef. Now, I am a big fan of Necrons, to be honest. However, their stuff looks very, very samey. So I think in this model we can see elements that we have definitely seen elsewhere. So there's, you know, it's nothing new in terms of look, but it's a different pose and slightly different options and that kind of thing. But altogether, very nice looking. However, Holger Clovenhorn is an absolutely fantastic looking model. Everything about the Kagra's Reavers from Warhammer Underworld's Diachasm, everything about Kagra's model is everything I like about this, but in this it's dialed up to 11. I think it's really, really cool. I love that shield. It's really, really excellent. So this for me is the big one. This is the one I'm looking forward to getting to the most, but I do like both models. So that's it for now. Thanks very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, there's lots and lots of new releases coming out today for pre-order for next weekend, and there's a lot of new products in store today. So reasons to rejoice. Obviously, the announcement that we have got tournaments and that kind of thing coming back in America, and I'm sure they'll be happening other places soon as well. Just remember to be safe, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, lots and lots of reasons to be very, very happy. The amount of releases we've had in the last few weeks means, to me, it looks as though that kind of shortfall, that barren area that we had, that barren period for a few weeks that we had recently, and again further on back to towards the beginning of the year, it looks like they are really ramping up and getting over that and kind of pushing these products out again, which is great if you like new stuff, which it ain't so great if you want all of it like I do. It's going to cost a fortune if I bother getting it all. But I'll leave it there. I will finish up by giving a little plug to my affiliate link for Element Games, which is in the description. So if you use that, you will give me a tiny, tiny kickback on the purchase of your order, but it won't cost you a penny more. There is also a little code down there that if you use that referral code in your checkout, you will double your element crystals, so you'll get a reward for that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Much appreciated. Have an excellent weekend, and I'll catch you later.